Yo, so the opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and the future Bachelor podcast only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity or anything like that. This fun podcast, though, may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor podcast.
Why don't we get to the nitty gritty of what we like to do here, and it's that time we talk about Bachelor stuff on our show. Yes, Bachelor week 4 is up, but before we get into all that, why don't you guys go ahead and subscribe, smash that thumbs up button, and hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time we drop new content. And if you just did, huge shout out to you. Veronica, where do we even start with this week's Bachelor episode, week 4?
I'm already mad that we're in the cycle of now these episodes I like when they're the clean cut like per week, because now we're getting the bleed over of like last week into this week.
Yeah, it's a little messy. But here we are. We're heading to Houston, Texas, right?
But not yet, because we first have to finish what it was last episode's rose ceremony.
Oh, yes. So what do we got?
With this rose ceremony, is, the accumulation of the Elizabeth versus Shanae debacle.
Yeah.
Because obviously, Shanae ended that last date saying that she feels bullied by the girls in the house because Elizabeth is, leading them, and Clayton is believing anything that comes out of Shanae's mouth right now. Just anything coming out of Shanae's mouth, he's believing, he's just drinking it up. And so he decides to bring those two,
well,
Shanae and Elizabeth.
So we're at the cocktail ceremony, like before the roast ceremony. The girls were already the show starts off with everyone talking about the drama, and it's just like still going. I'm like, literally, this is a continuation of what we talked about last time, and I kind of like got like an analogy because like last week we were talking about who was trying to remove their music. Neil Young was trying to remove his music from Spotify, and all these like articles were going off about Joe Rogan. I feel like the more people sit there and try to like be like cancel Joe Rogan, the bigger he's gonna get. And that's how I feel about like Shanae and The Bachelor. I feel like the more these girls talk about her, the more they try to like conspire around her, the more people are gonna drop like flies around her, and the more she's gonna look popular. Like, that was the feeling I was getting. I'm like, how are you girls still like talking about it? I get it, they're in a vacuum, so they're just so obsessed with the situation.
You can even tell that they're all upset to still be talking about it. They're like, it's fucking shrimp. Why are we fucking talking about this?
They're stuck in there.
They're like, this is so insane. Like they're all upset because they know that all of this, like how Shanae ended their last group date, whatever, has been sucking up people's time. Like that's what most of them are upset about. And they're all like, why has this not been resolved?
Yeah.
And like because of that, Clayton's like, I'm gonna bring these two out.
Yeah, he's like already in a somber mood. He walks in, the girls are all like fighting. He's all like, sorry to interrupt, and the girls are like, please do. And
they're like, please interrupt. And he's like, I'm pulling you two out.
Exactly.
They start talking, and it's literally bitching about the fucking situation. Shanae's trying to ask Elizabeth, blah blah blah. You didn't even take any of my shrimp. Weren't you in the hot tub? Well,
she did lie about the hot tub though. That's
she didn't actively lie. She just didn't say that she was. Like she just didn't say. I wouldn't say that's lying.
I mean,
she just didn't answer.
No, that's kind of looking weird though. Like
but like who gives a shit? She was like, I don't understand why this is even
Clayton gives a shit. He pulled these two girls to hear like their sides of the story.
No, because he even said in his other interviews, like, I don't know why we're still talking about a hot tub and shrimp. He doesn't care about any of that. He just wants the drama to be done.
Yeah, like, but we have to explain it though. Like Shanae is actually explaining her case. Like if he's like, all right, guys, let's do it face to face with all you guys. Shanae is actually explaining her case, and I don't know. Like I feel like Elizabeth was being very standoffish, and she thought she was coming off looking like whatever.
I thought Elizabeth was just handling it even keel.
Well, she didn't obviously handle it even keel because she gets sent home.
Losing it.
Well,
so,
she got sent home. I'm just trying to tell you that, like, from the perspective of what was going on, obviously it didn't look good for Elizabeth because she ends up going home. So as much as you think she looked good,
anybody else who's watching that is all like, I don't understand.
Not me.
That's the thing.
Obviously.
It's like
Not
Elizabeth isn't even doing anything, prodding or whatever, and then Shanae is out here just like.
Well, I feel like you're like the 90 maybe percent of people that are
you didn't do whatever, and like Elizabeth's like, why does this even matter?
But that does at least like. She's like talking. Elizabeth's like not even answering questions. She's like
Elizabeth
lying.
answered questions, and she was just trying to like, she was like apologizing for whatever, and she even apologized to the other girls that this even took up any of their time.
No, she was lying. When she walked away, like she's like, at least I'm a lady. She's like, you're a fake lady, and then she lied again and said, I think she called me fat.
Well, she didn't hear that she said that.
Whatever.
She didn't hear fake or fat. That's
she's
not
already
lying.
she's already thinking negatively about the situation. There was nothing anything can do.
She misheard. She didn't see her talk.
I mean, I'm gonna
misheard.
sit here and defend Shanae this episode
That's
because
insane.
I don't care.
That's insane.
You know what's insane? To not see it from another person's perspective. I can see where you're coming
I can see it from both perspectives, especially as we go on through the episode. I can see whatever, but like inherently, Shanae is just she like is stirring the pot to stir the pot, and Elizabeth is a victim in most of this. Then,
oh man, I'm not gonna let her be a victim to any of this. Like she could have easily been like, look, like. I was in the hot tub. I didn't really see you do the shrimp. Like that simply could have been like it, but she was being very standoffish, trying to hold her ground of whatever, and it kind of came off like, what are you lying about? Like, Shanae's over here like
I don't really think
her.
she was lying. I don't think she was lying.
Veronica, it doesn't matter if she's lying or not. She was in the hot tub. I saw the footage last week.
Yeah,
so
I saw that
she was
too.
lying.
She was in the hot tub, but like I think she was just
lying.
like, why are we discussing about this? Like, she wasn't lying.
Because if we're going to discuss and argue about it, no, because we're discussing and arguing about it, how do you expect them not to argue about it? Because I saw the footage of her in the hot tub when she walked up and offered it. You're not going to tell me she didn't lie. She lied, even if she didn't mean to. She was in the hot tub and she said she wasn't. I saw that go down.
But like the thing is, like, that shouldn't even be the issue. That shouldn't be the issue, and that's what they were trying to solve other things. And Shanae's all like, because Shanae has no other thing to stand on, that's what she's going to stand on.
What does Elizabeth have to stand on?
She has to stand on the fact that she's been bullied technically.
Oh my God, you're not claiming she's the one bullying when Shanae is the one.
About calling her all these different things. About the way that Shanae is. Yeah.
No way. Yeah. You can't tell me that the girl that's bullying the one girl, like a group of girls are bullying one girl, that she's getting bullied.
She's not even bullying Shanae.
Give me a break, dude.
They don't like Shanae because Shanae isn't nice.
They make this show for you, I swear to God, because like literally any other person can see that this is like a situation where it's like no one's in the right here. I'm not even trying to say one person. You're trying to say Elizabeth's in the right. She's not.
I don't really think Elizabeth's in the right that much either, but I think she's more of a victim than Shanae is.
No one's a victim here. They both signed up for this shit. I'll tell you that right now. So, with that being said, she walks away. Then she lies again and says, like, I think she called me fat, which gets the other girls to bully.
Lie. She didn't hear
It doesn't
her.
matter. She said it, Veronica. It doesn't matter. She said it. And also because she said it, she's going to get the other girls.
If you don't know what you heard.
It doesn't matter. She goes and says it to the girls, and the girls are going to think that she said she called her fat now. Now you're going to have the girls, like, bully her even more, Shanae.
Well, what's worse, fat or fake? Both. Both are bad.
I think calling someone fat is definitely, like,
I don't think it's worse.
Oh, well, I would rather be called fake than fat.
That's because I've actually,
I don't care.
Looked into fat phobia. But
well, regardless, I'd rather be called fake than fat. Like, someone could call me either one. Like, I wouldn't give a shit. But like, if you call me fake, I'd be like, fuck you. If you call me fat, I'd be like, fuck you. But like, regardless of it, she's instigating. So she walks away and she goes back into the house. And, Jesse Palmer lets the girls know that, like, Clayton is, like, not going to put up with it. He's, like, just over it. He's already was in a somber mood coming in and going out. He's going
I also just think Clayton's emotionally immature. He doesn't know how to conflict resolve. He's not very great at that. So I think he dipped out of their conversation, which I understand because they're just going back and forth talking about shrimp and hot tubs. And he just, chalks it up to, which he talks about in a later, notes apology post about how he's like, I just thought it was petty drama, which I think is, problematic in general, just calling any argument that women have and just instead of listening to it, calling it petty drama.
No, what he's trying to do is get ahead of like later episodes where he's going to have to probably apologize even more. So what he's doing is like laying foundations to, look, I apologize for all this little petty stuff that I didn't see because of whatever, but later on in the show when I have sex with 3 girls in 1 week and then tell them all to their face, hopefully you guys won't hate me that much then. But yeah, so eventually they go through the ceremony and he ends up Shanae prevails, and Elizabeth goes home.
Elizabeth gets sent home, Kira gets sent home, and Melina gets sent home.
Yeah, so I mean, to be honest, like, I mean, I don't think Elizabeth should have gone home for that, but
I don't think so either. Honestly, I think if anything was to happen, I think they both should have just went home. I think that's always the better situation when it comes to that kind of drama that keeps brewing. It's just cut off both thorns, you know?
Yeah, you know what also I think might have affected it was that, like, you know, what I saw was when Clayton brought both girls together, he walked away for a second, and then the girls continued to talk, and he was like listening from like behind a wall or whatever. And Shanae came off like, when it was just the two of them talking, Shanae actually came off like, if you were to overhear that conversation, Shanae came off better, because she was like, well, maybe if you were like apologize, you would have more friends in the house. She's like, I'm not here for friends. I'm here for Clayton. Like, if Clayton's hearing this type of stuff, that does sound bad on Elizabeth's part. That's all I'm trying to say, is that Elizabeth
I don't know if it sounds bad, but it sounds like,
God, Veronica, why do you got to argue with me on this shit?
It just sounds like Shanae's obviously just going for Clayton. I'm not saying that
That's
it
what the
sounds
show's
bad on
for.
Elizabeth.
That's what the whole
It just
point
sounds
is.
that Elizabeth is all like, you should apologize for things that you've done.
No, dude, if you're Clayton, I'm talking about. If you're Clayton,
Yeah,
you
but
want
I'm saying, like, if I were Clayton, I would want to hear somebody apologize for things that they've done too.
No, you would care more about the girl that's there for him, as opposed to trying to be friends with all the girls.
You care more about the girl that you obviously have a hard on for, which is Shanae.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's that too. Like, I mean, that's another plus for him. He likes Shanae better than Elizabeth. So,
I think, yeah, he's sticking with his dick in that situation.
I mean, like most bachelors do. Clayton is excited about, you know, so they end up going, they get and letting know that they're not going to be in the mansion anymore. They're going on a international, you know, love quest or some shit, they say. And
the first stop is Houston, Texas.
Houston,
H-Town.
Texas. I know. And knowing that they were going to go to Houston, Texas from the promo in the beginning, it was just like, that was a weird, like,
setup.
A weird setup for it. Like, we're going international, starting in Houston, Texas. But when they get there, you know, he has a fellow Mizzou football player that lives there with his family.
Yes.
And he's very excited about seeing his friend. And this is where, like, a little
Clarence,
you know, I would say the tailgate, you know, football episode goes down. And from there, you know.
First, Rachel got pulled for her one-on-one date first, right?
Yeah, Rachel is a beautiful girl. I really like
She's
Rachel.
the pilot.
You know, during their date, there was not much that really happened.
They
went
rode some
horseback
horses. They have a ton of chemistry. They make out a ton on this date. It was extremely strange that they just randomly rode up their horses to a random barbecue, and like this family was all like, yeah, Julie.
Oh yeah, I was confused. I was like, what happened? Is this like more football friends or something? And they were just random people?
Just random people.
That's
it's
random.
Seemingly. And they're just, you know, they're talking about, you know, love and family while they cook up some meats and chop some corn. And then they finish out the date like on a dock, and then they go to like, you know, a cute little thing, see this random country band that I know nothing about play. But
on the dinner date, she talked about how her ex-boyfriend hated her job, or like her profession. And
hated that she was successful, like wanted her to kind of be, you know, wanted her to be a little stay-at-home kind of gal, which is not seemingly Rachel's idea. She's like, I want to be able to have a family, do that, and then also like still do my career that I love.
So they go back and they dance to obviously a country band called Restless Road. The song's called Growing Old With You. And they thought it was romantic that, you know, they might grow old together, which probably won't happen.
And Clayton said, "I'll never dim your light," which I thought was great.
Yeah,
I loved
God,
that.
that's lame.
Well, as someone whose light has been dimmed by many a man, it's nice to hear.
I'll never dim your light. Oh my goodness, I can't imagine saying that in real life. But yeah, so when we get back, the girls are still talking about shit about Shanae, and this is where I think is going to be a spiral for some of the girls coming up next episode.
Oh yeah,
but this
I
was
thought this
the
was
best.
A bad move.
This is
I
the
thought
best
this was
shit.
a bad move. Like, first of all, why are you going to be talking shit when you know Shanae could be sharing a wall with you? You're in a hotel.
I mean, why are you talking shit at all? That's the whole thing.
Right.
And
well, it's just like Sierra, I feel like, is the type who is like, she's the type who's like, I'm gonna say something, whatever. And I'm like, that's your downfall. Like you're that's not gonna help. It might help the cause of other people. It's not gonna help you specifically.
Well,
but,
I mean, we'll talk about that later on. I have a couple points about that, but this setup right now is like the perfect like villain plot. Like it was something out of a Marvel movie. The way like she could hear her through the wall, and she gets up and she hears their whole like plan that's about to get foiled because like she's like, oh, you're gonna do this? Well, I'm gonna get hot. And like actually she kept it to herself because they did the
well, that was this was before they even started the date.
Yeah, so like there's stuff that will happen on the date that they really didn't allude to till later on, but yeah, they go on their date and this is like a football date, and the girls have to break into teams. We got the Shrimp Stampede with Shanae and the crew, and then we got the other people, and I'm glad that they were able to get that name because that's hilarious. And then we got the Purple Punishers.
I just thought like the producers were like really milking the shrimp. First of all, shrimp can't stampede, and they're just milking it, and I'm like, oh my god. But
yeah, they got
the Purple Punishers. It's all
so yeah. Name. This is like a Clayton themed date. They got two football players there from the Houston Texans. And so they start and they're essentially playing for the prize of winning the after party date, and the girls that lose don't get to go. So we've seen
I liked the fact that they did a little montage of former Bachelor Bowl dates. I thought that was kind of cute. As someone who's been watching the show through all of those episodes, I thought that was kind of a little fun Bachelor history moment.
Yeah. Like for what you're talking about, the Bachelor Winter Games.
No, they did like the little. They did like a little montage of former Bachelor Bowl episodes.
Yeah. Well, when I brought up Bachelor Winter Games, they had that girl that was in the show hosting with them and stuff. But I'm just gonna say it now. I think Sierra goes home this next week.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I think she shot herself in the foot.
Yeah, I mean she's talking too much, and the drama is just like. It's just not going to go over.
Plus she was just targeting, like, if we're going to talk, like, actual football, she was just targeting Shanae to target her, which, like, isn't a good look when you're playing in front of, like, a former football player. Like, he's going to notice. But I have to give it up to Marlena, the Olympian, because she just fucking smoked everybody. She did incredible. And I also have to give it up to Teddy, who Clayton even didn't was surprised that she was like tackling girls, because like if you see Teddy just standing around, like she's thin, she's like seemingly like unassuming, and she was just out there just breaking necks, and I was here for it. I was like, damn, Teddy, you fucking play that game. You're trying to get that time too, because we haven't seen her since the first episode pretty much, and she was an early front runner, but where's she now? Who's to say?
Well, the Purple Punishers come out with the W, and they win the after party. Now we get to the after party, and off the bat there, you just have to love it. Like, just anytime the girls will talk about there not being drama, you don't think the producers are on their walkie-talkies starting up some drama to come in there?
Oh, for sure. The producers are like, anyways. Some people are convinced that Shanae's a producer plant as well, which I could see. But
well, yeah, she's making it super entertaining for me. But so yeah, that's exactly what the producers do. They plant Shanae in there, and Shanae's coming fully stocked, ready.
I want to know where they dropped her off, because they show so much footage of her walking to wherever they were having this like after party, that I'm like, did they just like drop her like far down, and they're like, okay, now we got to get footage of you walking.
There's no way. They probably had her. This is in the same hotel they're staying in. They probably had her walk around the block. And then
I don't know. It's just funny to me. At
this point, Shanae is already hatching her plan. Sierra, in the meantime, is confronting Clayton and essentially just bringing up more drama about Shanae and putting her mouth
doing the same shit she did last week, pretty much.
She doesn't need to be doing this. This is like her only thing that she has right now. She has no connection with Clayton. Yeah, because
I don't really think she has a connection with Clayton. So like she's in this sense, she's gonna end up being like a martyr, because she's gonna go home because she has no connection with him. But he's still not gonna see anything until a while. And even a lot of the other girls on the date are all like, I don't even know if I want to be bothered by this. Like Sarah's like, I'm not even going to bring up like whatever. Like it's more Sierra and Genevieve who are pissed, who have like little bees in their bonnet. Yeah. And they're like, I'm going to bring it up. And then like the other girls are like, all right, you guys can do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, I'm looking forward to Sierra going home. And, while that's happening, Clayton is actually bringing up the point. I'm like, to Sierra, like, didn't you tackle her for no reason, like, while we were playing football today? Which I loved. Called her out straight up. Was like, you're
He's
talking.
I saw you guys getting violent, because then Shanae did, retaliate, as would make sense, because if you're going to get tackled, you're going to try to, tackle somebody else, even though both of them were just tackling to tackle. Wasn't even making sense for the play, but.
Yeah, but, like you said, Clayton saw that, and Sierra just really, like, try to change the subject and get back to, like, how Shanae is.
I know,
not,
she's all like, is that not allowed? And I'm like, bitch, yeah, of course it's not allowed. Like, that's not how football's played.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just really, I mean, this is exactly why I cheer for people like Shanae, is because, like, you got people like Sierra over here that are probably worse than Shanae to me, because at least Shanae has a connection with Clayton, and that'll take her farther than this drama starting, that, and that's just, even though Shanae started the drama with the shrimp stuff, like, I will admit
and
that.
Just in general, like, saying mean things and lying and whatever.
I mean, whatever. I honestly think it's smart gameplay. I mean, if she's been able to make it 2 episodes like
making
this,
fun of people's disabilities, smart gameplay.
Yeah. Well, whatever it is, like, she fucking won 2 episodes now. Elizabeth went home.
Which
I'm
I
still
think that's
on Team
such a
Shanae.
toxic way to think, is like being all like, I won. That's so toxic. If you're actually like there for love, that's toxic.
I mean, come on. Like, the whole show is toxic. I don't know what to tell you.
Of course it is. Of course.
So I'm not going to, like, pinpoint on just one person being toxic. The whole thing is, like, including the lead. So, I mean, to me, I think this is just another win for Shanae. She gets to come in there, and at first Clayton's kind of like, what are you doing here? Didn't you lose? Which was a very cold welcome. But, Shanae...
But it's accurate. That's the truth.
Well, either way, within 5 minutes, Shanae's on a bar top making out with him. As
Clayton
much as you want to hate on her,
simple-
I think she's playing the game great. And this is a game. Let's not forget, people.
He's a simple man. He's not thinking.
So, I mean, Clayton, he pretty much is, like, happy with her. She comes into the girls and says, keep my name out of your mouth. She takes the trophy, that dumbass trophy that they won, and threw it into the bushes.
Throws it into the bushes.
And then took off. And I'm just like, hell yeah. Like, someone can get away with doing this and also probably not get sent home for it. It's just awesome to see. Good TV. So yeah, she's very confident about this stuff, and that's the end of the
That's
episode.
when she dubs it the Shanae show. That's not confident. That's cocky.
Whatever. So that's pretty much the end of the episode right there. Like,
we don't get to see it. I'm guessing we'll start next episode with Serene's one-on-one date, because she's the one who is left for the one-on-one date. It looks like they're trying to trick us again in these previews, because they showed, like, part of what looks like more drama popping up for next week, but then, like, they're like, in the rest of the season, and then they show Genevieve and Shanae in what dresses looks like they were showing them in the preview for next episode, but, like, around the whole, like, and I've been intimate with 3 of you or whatever part that they keep showing, and I'm like, I wonder if, like, that is actually when that happens, or if it's happening from, what is next week's episode. So they're trying to trick us. They're trying to really throw us off the scent.
I mean, to me, this is what I got from it. I think Shanae makes it really far, after she's, like, made it this far. At this point, like, girls will have to realize, stop talking about Shanae, or we're going to get sent home, because we're losing time with Clayton. And also, there's other girls that are doing it and getting closer and closer with him. So it's just
there's
a bad move.
I mean, like, the Sarahs, the Rachels, the Susies are not, and they're, like, seemingly going to be top contenders, and the Teddies aren't talking about Shanae, and they're doing pretty well.
So we see a lot of Sarah.
They're
in the
affected
next,
by Shanae, but they're not talking about her.
We see a lot of Sarah in the next episode. It looks like Gabby gets a one-on-one in the next episode. Shanae's still going hard, and they tease a 2-on-1 with Shanae and Genevieve. So, which obviously Genevieve is going home. I like Genevieve.
I think that's that makes me feel like if it's between Genevieve and Shanae, that makes me think that, Sierra goes home in the next rose ceremony, then it goes down between, because then Genevieve was like kind of next up of like being pissed at Shanae. I mean, everyone's pissed at her, but like being vocal about it is mostly Sierra and Genevieve.
And Gabby. They're like the three group that she mentioned.
Gabby is like just like, I think Gabby's more frustrated. Gabby's just like upset. Like she was seen crying early in the episode. She's like, evil one. But like, I feel like she isn't out here like really talking to Clayton about it. She's just upset.
She's not talking to Clayton about it, but she's part of the group that was mentioned, Sierra, Genevieve, and Gabby, that was talking through the wall, and that's why Shanae has her crosshair set on her. So, and then we get a look later in the season, and he's in love with 3 women. Obviously, we know that. Clayton is so broken over it. And I saw a lot of Rachel. I
think Rachel's going to make it real far.
Yeah. And
I mean, his entire one-on-one date with her, he was all like, I just want to spend more time with you. Like, I want time to stop with you. Like, he's very in on Rachel.
Yes.
So I wonder if something crazy happens to kind of like get that off course.
And then we end with like our post-credit scene with Sarah talking about her peeing herself in front of Busta Rhymes, which was like very left field for Sarah. I felt like I love
Sarah. I think she's fun. I like her a lot.
Yeah, she's probably going to make it far too. So, yeah, I mean, that was pretty much our episode. Obviously, a very heated episode between fans here on this show.
Yeah.
But, you know, why don't we talk about some lighter Bachelor news? What else is coming out of Bachelor Nation?
So Ashley and Jared had their baby. He was born on Monday afternoon, January 31st, which is also Ashley's mom's birthday and the day that her parents met 44 years ago. You know, Ashley I is just one of those sappy kind of gals. But like the fact that she knows, she's like, what an important day. But so
yeah, I mean, literally the way she literally thinks her life is This Is Us or something. My mom's kind of like that too, actually. Like you'll get like a random text from her being like, on this day, like 13 years ago, like this, that. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. If I could like document my life like This Is Us, that'd be important. But at this moment, I would have to make all that stuff up to like really make it make sense.
I mean, like I remember specific stuff, but like I don't know. That's about it.
Yeah. So yeah, congratulations to them. Anything else?
Yeah, so they have like announced, I guess, the cast. So this whole Bachelor Live thing is where they go city to city. Becca Kufrin is the host, and like it's like an interactive Bachelor experience where they have one of the former Bachelor guys on there, and like they pretty much you're like interacting and like dating them or whatever.
So this is good because like Bachelor Live was just finding random guys. Obviously, they're doing it the opposite of what they did on Michelle's season, where they picked the guy from Bachelor Live to bring on the actual Bachelorette show. But,
yeah, LOL.
Yeah, but now that's a smart idea, I think, to take the rejects of the show and kind of make it its own little live Bachelor in Paradise.
Well, that's how I think it was. I think that's how it was originally. I think he was one of like the guys that came, like that was one of the people who was brought up on stage that then ended up on Michelle's season. But yes. The guys that are on it are James from Katie's season, Katsu Connor from Katie's season, Justin from Katie's season, Rick from Michelle's season. I almost forgot about him. Ivan from Tayshia's season, and then Rodney, who, you know, is a fan fave. So I see him being popular for whatever string of... Oh, and Andrew, I believe, from... Is that Katie's season or...
I don't know. We should probably go check that out if it comes to Atlanta, just to see what it's all about.
Yeah, I'm like, I need to see the tickets and stuff, because I was laughing because like there's one in Peoria, which is like where I would go do like track meets in middle school. But I'm seeing a lot of Atlanta, April 10th.
Yeah,
at Fox Theater.
That'd be a good show to go to, I think. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't, been online, so I haven't been seeing too much of the drama. I did see that Clayton posted an apology to Elizabeth, I guess.
He did post an apology, and it reads pretty much that, he's sorry for not actually listening to people. But it was, it talks about neurodivergence and stuff like that. It reads, "I'm sorry, Elizabeth, for what you're going through. I wish I could have seen what was happening when I wasn't there. I obviously knew y'all weren't in a good place with each other, but I thought at the time that it was solely petty drama. I would have sent Shanae home immediately for making fun of you for being neurodivergent had I known. Overall, the experience for me watching hasn't been fun, simply because I'm seeing all the damage that I caused. I really meant well, but my actions weren't always the best, as I can now see the repercussions from my decisions. I can promise you I'm learning from the mistakes, though, and I'm doing everything in my power to come out the other side a better man."
Yeah, like I said, I think it's more of like a spin for later on in the season when we see him kind of be womanizing.
Are you saying that he isn't actually sorry for all the neurodivergent digs that were at Elizabeth?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I really think that's just more about him than anything, than apologizing.
I think, yeah, he's covering his ass, but I mean, I think.
I'm not going to sit here and be that guy that sits here and picks one thing that was said between a argument that the producers decided to bring to light for us to just sit here and talk about. I don't really, she doesn't have that much knowledge about what that is. She's probably ignorant to it. If you come to her now and ask her about it, if she has the same answer or something, she doubled down maybe. But I'm not going to sit here and crucify someone for an argument that everyone's taking low blows at each other and stuff. So that's my opinion on it. And to be honest, I like to read through the lines of things, and to me it just seems like if I was Clayton, I would try to get ahead and try to say all these nice things before the episodes come on.
Of course, I see that part for sure. I think he's definitely trying to get ahead, because I don't think he could go by, especially because Elizabeth started a whole, after her episode of being yelled at for having ADHD, she started a whole fund that raised a lot of money for, different neurodivergencies, organizations and stuff like that. So I think it would have been a bad look on him no matter what if he didn't say anything. So
right. So we'll catch you guys next week with more Bachelor talk. Week 5 will be going down, and we'll just have to see the Shanae show continue.
Future Bachelor Podcast.